What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Thought we'll try and lighten the mood after Man City's defeat against Newcastle United on the road yesterday. So before I do crack on with today's transfer update, do make sure to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Sofascore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the grounds. They'll keep you up to date with the latest match information, the latest team news, and also the latest statistics. Also, you can check out all the other sports included on the app, so they'll keep you up to date with the latest scores and information from them. So do go and check out Sofascore. Links and details there in the description, and a big thank you to Sofascore for sponsoring today's video. Remember, free app to download, very highly rated. Links and details they're in the description. So, got a bit of contract news. Takes us on to a story about Phil Foden, and Jack Gaughan had said that Man City are going to be opening up talks with Phil Foden's camp very soon about him signing a new contract at Manchester City. No surprise really that Man City looking to try and tie down Phil Foden, an academy lad obviously of high quality, and as long as everybody looks at Phil Foden as a whole rather than being reactionary on yesterday's game. Yeah, he didn't play his greatest game for Man City yesterday, but as a whole, Phil Foden is a high-quality player, and you want to be tying down your high-quality players. The fact that he's homegrown and an academy lad as well, purely a bonus too. Got to be tying down Phil Foden to a new contract, and I suspect that Man City now are going to be working hard to try and get a few homegrown players onto new contracts, because we're going to be losing Jack Grealish. So I'm looking towards Phil Foden, tie him onto a new deal. I'm looking towards John Stones, his contract up in the summer if he can prove his fitness through the next 2 or 3 months. I don't think I'd hesitate in trying to get John Stones onto a new contract as well. I don't think Bernardo Silva will sign a new contract at City, so I suspect he will be leaving for free next summer. I do also think in terms of looking towards contracts, we've got to be sorting out what's happening with Rodri with his contract going into, I think, the final 18 months in the January transfer window. So we want to be seeing about what Rodri's recovery is looking like. Does he want his move that he's been linked with to Real Madrid, or does he want to sign a new contract at City? We could do with having an answer to that sooner rather than later. Now, moving on to the outs, we've got the very latest on Claudio Echeverri, and Jack Gaughan has confirmed that Man City are going to evaluate Claudio Echeverri's loan at Bayer Leverkusen. The players' camp chose for him to go to Leverkusen. Man City wanted him on loan at Girona, and Juan Patricio, Balbi over in Argentina, has said that Echeverri, unhappy about his game time, wants his loan cancelling in January, and he wants to try and pursue a loan move back to Argentina to rejoin River Plate. Man City have said that they're only going to contemplate a loan back to River Plate for Claudio Echeverri in January if there is no other European team interested. It is expected, though, that Girona are going to be interested and be recommended to Claudio Echeverri's camp once more by Man City in January. And it is expected that Echeverri is going to be recalled by Man City from his loan at Bayer Leverkusen in the January transfer window. That's due to a lack of game time and minutes. Man City's game, of course, next up is Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League. We may see some minutes for Claudio Echeverri, and I think talks are going to be taking place once that game has concluded. Now, the other player I want to speak about in the outs is an update on Nathan Ake, and Jack Gaughan has said that Ake is getting frustrated at starting just one Premier League game this season with Man City. Ake's relationship with Pep Guardiola is strong, but with the World Cup coming up next summer, Ake wants to be with the Netherlands squad over to the World Cup, obviously in North America. So he could potentially be pushing for an exit from Man City in the upcoming January transfer window. And remember, Ake is homegrown. Again, me putting emphasis on homegrown, but we have a quota to fill when it comes to homegrown players. So if Ake leaves and we want to replace him, it would make sense if a homegrown player leaves that you replace that homegrown player with another homegrown player. Still remains to be seen as to whether Man City will end up replacing Nathan Ake. We'll see what does happen. Now, Jack Gaughan has said that there are at least 2 other players at Man City who are also frustrated and weighing up their options in the upcoming January window. He says he expects more developments on that in the coming weeks, but no names have been mentioned. So I'm thinking to myself, who's that going to be? Obviously, Stefan Ortega is going to be one of the players that leaves in January. You imagine Calvin Phillips would leave. Obviously, Nathan Ake's frustrated with minutes. Who's the other players who we're looking at who's going to be frustrated? Rico Lewis, James Trafford, maybe Oscar Bob, Savinio. I don't know. I really do not know. I'd find that very interesting to find out which players are getting frustrated about a lack of game time. Now, moving on to the final transfer, takes us on to the ins, and we've got a new name to speak about. It comes in the form of an update on Givairo Read from Feyenoord. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Man City are keen on the 19-year-old Dutch right-back. He's one of the few right-backs that Man City are having a look at ahead of potentially making a move in the upcoming January window. No numbers in terms of Read here have been mentioned. However, it's believed that Bayern Munich are also keen, along with Manchester City. Now, Read for Feyenoord has played 11 times in the Eredivisie with 0 goals and 3 assists. I've not seen too much of him to be able to comment. So has anyone seen him play? Is he any good? Anyone that's seen him, do let me know in the comments. But I find this link really interesting because we saw Kyle Walker leave Man City in the January window. Obviously, Rico Lewis just seems to, whenever he's utilised, be utilised more in midfield than at right backs. And you feel to yourself that we're looking at Mateus Nunes or a Kadir Husanov long-term injury away from being really short on that right-hand side. So making a move for a 19-year-old right-back who's doing very well in the Eredivisie could make a lot of sense, especially if you can get him onto a good deal. And the bonus that you have here is because he's 19 years old, he doesn't have to be registered to play in any of the domestic games, whether that be in the League Cup, FA Cup or the Premier League. He would need registering if he did want to feature in the Champions League, but that's something that Hugo Viana would have to think about in terms of the squad registrations. I find it interesting, and I can imagine that Man City are going to keep an eye on which players potentially leave in January, and that is going to affect what Man City choose to do in terms of incomings in the January transfer window. If no player leaves Man City in January, it'll be interesting to see if we do make a move for anybody. You'd expect that they wouldn't, but if they were, they'd be making a move for a player who they don't have to register, and going for a teenager, a 19-year-old, would make a lot of sense. And if City feel like they're short on that right-hand side, maybe just making a move for Givairo Read from Feyenoord could just be a little bit of a masterstroke from Hugo Viana at Manchester City. So I find that link really interesting. Read isn't the only right back that's been linked with a move to Man City. I imagine there'll be lots more names linked between now and January 1st. And I'm going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest developments on transfers involving Manchester City over the next few weeks. So do stay tuned to my channel and do subscribe. It is free to subscribe, and I'll be doing daily Man City transfer updates throughout the whole January transfer window for you guys to enjoy here on my YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links are in the description too if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's transfer update. We're going to go with 200 likes, and do get your thoughts as well in the comments below, including Givairo Read. Yay or nay? Let me know in the comments. And finally, a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next City video. More than likely it'll be my preview tomorrow of Man City's game against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League. Maybe a bit of a Claudio Echeverri derby. We'll see. He might feature. We'll wait and see what does happen. So, I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.